Hey, I'm Jale, welcome to my channel. Very excited to be bringing you your overall monthly insight into the year 2020. I was trying to think of a way of trying to put as much information in the video as possible without doing like a 4-hour video. So what I'm deciding to do here is I'm going to split this into 3 days. Okay, so this is going to be the first part of 3 parts. It is going to be a pick a card, and we're going to be doing a monthly rundown based on each of those piles, based on the one that you pick. So we'll be looking at, hopefully overall, this is going to be finances, career, friends and family, love, you name it. I'm going to try and put as much depth as possible. Now, obviously, we've got 3 piles to choose from. By all means, pause the video. Have a think about which pile that you feel resonates, or which card deck would resonate with you, and then we'll be using those cards as well as the other tarot and other kind of oracle cards to delve a little bit deeper, as well as channeling from the guides. So as I say, we're going to do this part, which is going to be over today. Then the part 2 will be for the 20th of December 2019, and then lastly the 23rd of December for the last part. Now, as with all general readings, please take what resonates and leave the rest. If you feel like it isn't resonating with you, either maybe pick another pile, or, you know, check back in on the other videos that I've posted. Maybe they will. Okay, anything else I need to say? This will be timeless, so even though it's posted, part 1 is going to be on the 19th, which is today. You know, you can watch this up till January or February of next year, or whenever, really. It's timeless between now and the end of 2020. So by all means, let's dig in. So I'm going to show you the 3 decks that I'm going to be using for this video, for the 3 parts. Again, take your time, pick which you feel is going to resonate with you, the deck, and we'll get started. Okay, so if you feel like picking deck number 1, this is going to be the Archangel Power cards. Doreen Virtue and Radley Valentine. This is your pick a card pile number 1. Pick a card pile number 2 is the Psychic Tarot John Holland. Okay, and then pick a card pile number 3 will be the Psychic Tarot for the Heart by John Holland also. Now, just for reference, deck 1 or pile 1, this is going to be today's video. Deck 2 will be posted on the 20th of December, and deck 3 will be posted on the Monday. The reason being is I did actually speak to the guides and sort of try and do a way, because I just didn't want to post a 16-hour video, and I don't want it just to be about love. I feel like, you know, there's other parts in our lives that probably people want to know about, and maybe, you know, you don't want to focus on love. I know it's very popular on this channel to sort of to find out about how the love will develop, and obviously we all do, but I want people to focus on themselves as well. I feel like that's a healthy balance. So as per the guidance from Spirit as well, obviously I'm only doing this on behalf of them and on behalf of you. You guys get to decide. Okay, so we're going to start this off. I'm positive this. Oh no. It's fine, everything's fine. Oh dear, I'm not going to tell you which deck that was, but needless to say, yeah, okay, okay, nothing to see here, everything is good. Okay, let's start, shall we? May well be, and we'll see, but that deck, maybe you'll be a bit unsure at the beginning of the year, and then it will gracefully grow into something wonderful. Sounds like that might be the message there. Okay, so let's start here. As I say, we're going to use for deck 1 the Archangel Power Tarot cards. Again, if you didn't pick deck 1, you know, I will obviously catch up with you either tomorrow, depending on if you pick deck 2, or which is Friday the 20th, or the 23rd, which is going to be pre-Christmas Eve, for deck 3. I'll see you then. And if not, and if you picked pile 1, let's start. Right, I'm excited. Let's see those who picked pile 1. Those who picked pile 1 for the overall review of 2020. What is going to be happening in all areas? Love, friendship, career, money, Soul growth, soul lessons, what's happening, Spirit? Give us some insight here. I'm going to channel as well as usual. Let's see what else, let's see what they want to give us here. Oh, okay. It's interesting. First thing I kind of want to say is I feel like there could be a bit of a change around friendship groups here. It's like I'm reaching a level of where this is for pile 1 now. Yeah, just checking. It's like your friendship groups, you're going to be aligning with people that are very much on your level to take you into a new soul mission that was designed, pre-designed, got to be careful with the wording, to assist you from moving on. This could be a very spiritual pile, I'll be honest with you. I feel like you could be starseed or very highly intuitive empath. But again, if you don't resonate with those terms and labels, you could just have a very high ability that maybe you aren't aware of. Because that is also, they're saying, yes, that's something to be focusing on also. Okay, so let's have a look here. We're going to try and split this up. Well, we're going to try and get as many areas for you guys as possible. Because, again, I don't want to focus. I mean, look, most people do want to focus on the love life, and that's awesome. But I want to make sure that everyone's getting as much info as possible overall. So what can you tell us here, please? Oh, goodness me, that's a lot of cards. Right, so let's do a month by month, I think. I think we'll do a month by month. Let's start with January 2020 now, please, for those who picked pile 1. January 2020. What is going to be developing here in January? What is the highlights here? And again, I know I'm going to be doing energetic readings in depth on January, but let's just do things that may not be included in the energetic readings for the astrological signs for pile 1. Things that maybe won't be included in those. What can you tell us about January? Oh my goodness, these cards, there's a lot of, it's interesting because it's like you guys might have felt like you've been placed on hold for some part of 2019. And it's like, interesting information. It's like the gates are opening and you're getting a freeing of energy. And it's going to be resonating within you, but it's also going to be reflected in your environment. Things, dynamics are going to change here. January, please, Spirit, what can you tell us? They're saying all change, all change. Someone's on a mission as well. Someone's very much on a mission. Okay. You could be taking part in some kind of apprenticeship. We've got the 5 of Pentacles here. If that doesn't resonate with you, it's evaluating what energy you're putting into something and what you're gaining back in return. Is there a balance of energies here? Is there... You guys are putting a lot of effort behind things, projects, heartfelt ideas. It's like your empathic abilities and qualities are having a recalibration so that you're not selling all of your energy off. It's almost like there's a reflection back of your external environment into you questioning what is it you're giving out and what is it you're receiving back, not on the basis of selfishness but in self-preservation, and also an important lesson. This combines with the Queen of Pentacles as well. There's a lot of resourceful energy coming through here. Is this pentacle? Why do I feel like this is wand energy as well? No, it's pentacles. I'm just picking the wands energy through the pile. This is... How do I want to say this? Because we've now got 2 pentacle cards, this is not just about money, okay? You are making investments. You're heavily investing in January to propel you through 2020 based on a project that you feel is going to pay off, and they're saying it will, because the last card was the Queen of Pentacles here. It's like you're yes, you could be making a financial investment that means, I'm hearing, securing your future. It could be you're putting money down on something. It could be a physical item like a house or a contract. Could also be, like I said, an investment in work and study. Okay, it doesn't have to necessarily just be an apprenticeship or a contract that essentially allows you to train within an environment in order for an outcome to be an investment within a wage that they can then give you afterwards. And it's interesting the fact that I'm taking a lot of time to pinpoint words behind this, because I feel like you guys are probably verbally very able to make decisive measures in putting your point across. And it's really interesting because I can feel the energy of you guys, and you guys have got an extremely wide vision, head on your shoulders here with this. And it's like you are setting your sights on something, and you are determined to plow that, very much that Seven Pentacles energy, where you're making that investment. You're putting your time and money, resources, energy into it, and then you're building up from the ground up. This is very much that energy. Very much that energy. They're asking me to stop before I shuffle. Take your time. This is about taking the right time with something. This is not just throwing everything into the pot, mixing it up for a few seconds. This is an a la carte 16-course menu that you guys are building. No, that sounds very melodramatic, but this is a very consciously dedicated, grounded effort into building something that is going to last. This is not you messing about thinking, hey, you know, I'll just try and... This is you nailing it. Like you're I feel like you're not playing here. Like no one in this January is playing. And that doesn't have to be serious and you know, not light-hearted. It means that you have a vision for your future. Now, the question has to be, are you confident about it? Yes, to a certain extent, but watch for people around you, especially because of this Five of Pentacles, throwing you off that vision. You must ask yourself if that is the case. Is it because I'm meant to be doing this? Or is it because this is a test of faith and a test of that very slow burning energy? It's a very grounded energy. This is very much about earth signs. Maybe you have a stellium of earth signs, maybe you're an ascendant, maybe you're a sun or a moon, but you guys, it's very Capricorn, Virgo, Taurus energy, which is you are starting something, you've got your eyes wide open, and you're taking the necessary steps. And whether or not it takes you a month or, you know, a year to complete, you have your sights set on something, and it's going to be very difficult for you to change your mind. Okay, and this starts in January. This is January now, okay? Sorry, just downloading what they're giving me because there's a lot of information coming in. I should have split it into months as well. I'm going to do that anyway, aren't I? Oh, this is interesting energy. This is very visionary. You're a visionary. I'm going to just summarize it. They're just giving me 17 words, but visionary. You guys are going to, there's some, I mean, look, I can't sit here and go absolutely all of you are going to be doing this, but there's definitely some of you here that are onto something in a big way. And I don't know how big you are thinking this is, but I think you may have some idea. But this is to be guarded. Be careful what you're sharing with people. Okay, look to who wants in. I'm going to be real with you here. Look to who wants in. Maybe they dismissed the idea originally, and then maybe after January things start gaining momentum and then people want in. Again, use discernment, because there's something there, because again, Five of Pentacles, that's that change energy, that's that on the periphery of really pushing over that kind of tipping point into the Six, which is then where you're building up to the Ten of Pentacles, which is abundance, okay? Especially when it's next to the Queen of Pentacles as well. So be very aware. Let me pinpoint this a bit deeper here. You're going to have to discern people around you. It's a test. It's a test. Make sure you preserve, or let's see, that's the wrong word. Make sure that you are aware that some resources, although you'll be focusing very much on putting a lot of your energy into this, there may be one or two around you that will feel like you're not putting your attention on them, and rather than coming to you about it, they may deal with it in the wrong manner. And it may be at later points in the month, in the year, that they then become more vocalized about how they felt, and they're saying at this point it could be too late. Because I feel like that it's like they're saying soul lessons. Okay, get the balance right of proceeding forward in that very kind of self-aware, self-focused goal, and your immediate environment and people that are around you. And although that, you know, is obviously their lesson as well to learn that they should communicate that, watch that it's balanced and that you're not so tunnel visioned that you're cutting everyone off. Now again, I'm not saying everyone's going to do that, but this energy suggests that people may be upset. Okay, and what you would have to decide is, and again everyone's going to be different, is are they coming along for the journey with you? Number one, for the right reasons, and number two, is this where that soul contract ends with that person and it was never meant to be a longer term? And this is not just, we're talking friends, we're talking relationships, we're talking everything. Is this a true investment? This is investments on all fronts: love, friendship, even family. Like, it's like you've undergone an upgrade. It's like you've undergone an upgrade and you're imparting that kind of focused dedication, and you're prepared to work for it, and you're prepared to sink your energy into it. In fact, you could have felt a little disheartened by the fact that you were held back a little bit into 2019, that you are so determined. What they're saying here is, don't be so determined where you're not seeing the journey around you and the impact, not just on yourself down the longer term of things, but in the interim. Some you will definitely you'll be definitely benefiting from moving away from such individuals, and some you will have to discern. They keep talking about property. They keep talking about property here with that Five of Pentacles. Are you sinking money into something hoping that that is a long-term investment? Are you sinking upgrades into a property or something, cars, that you are expecting a long-term investment? Are you putting study, and that's the first thing, in order for a long-term investment to pay off? Okay, the next message with these cards, I'm just trying to get the entirety of it before I start talking, because again, there's a lot of information here. Don't be surprised if people don't see your vision. And if that's the case, and you know within your heart that it's the right thing for you, keep open-minded, but continue on your path. Don't be distracted. Because there will be some individuals as well that will distract you, and they're definitely not meant to be on the path. And it's meant to be a mirror, reflecting your own insecurity and concern over the job at hand, the task at hand. And it's merely to remind you of your potential, essentially. You could also have moved into this year feeling like you were not connected with many. Maybe you felt like people weren't resonating with you. People didn't understand you. You were investing a lot but weren't gaining anything back. Maybe you brought that. Now, again, if you feel like that resonates with you, what part of you within your lifespan up until this point have you been placed a label on of either a victim or not worthy? Look back, because it could be that you might want to do, and this is not going to be for everyone, some my mind's gone totally blank. It's like potentially looking into soul fragmentation, okay, and reclaiming your sovereignty in order to draw energy back to you to then move forward the best way. Because what they don't want you to do is to go forward charging ahead, and then there's still things from the past that haven't quite resolved, or there's energy attachments from the past that are firmly rooted in the past and aren't enabling you to move forward in an evolved way that has allowed you to shed the layers that are needed. And soul fragmentation could be an answer to that. We need to reclaim that. Look into soul fragmentation if that resonates. There's a whole, I could say a lot about that. It's usually along the idea that based on trauma, the soul has, because obviously physical trauma does affect not only the body, but it does start transferring through to the nomadics, you know, the kind of spiritual imprints, the physical, the mental, the emotional, on every layer. When it gets as deep as the soul level, the soul does tend to feel uncomfortable with that, and tends to, how do I want to use the right wording here, because this is a very broad subject. It can be that you would have, I mean, one of the symptoms would be very drained energy. One of the symptoms would be you can't quite feel yourself, you know, there's a difference in your vibration, and it's because parts of your soul have fled. And again, I don't want to cause alarm, but this is just a topic that people don't talk about when you're dealing with energy. And usually people that do my job tend to have first-hand experience of that, so that they can tackle those issues, learn from them, understand them, and then help others. That's sometimes the case. Having had 5 years of this situation, unfortunately it seems that they're like pointing the finger at me going, it's your time to talk about this. It's not as scary as it sounds. It is. Oh, I've got to laugh. You've got to laugh. But the process is one of empowerment, essentially, and people can sit and go, well, just be empowered, yeah? Just be empowered. But that isn't quite as simple as that. We need to take the steps in order to reclaim that energy. And I would say suggesting and starting, if you do resonate with that, into looking at soul fragmentation and counterbalancing. Again, email me if you want some help with that. Okay, so moving on. I'm just feeling out the energy here. They don't want me to pick any more cards up. They're saying this is a big theme. Okay, so this is going to be one of the main themes. I know I'm starting from January here, but bear with me. I'm listening to these guys, and they usually know more than me. So always know more than me. So okay, where's this going? Let me just trace this energy thread here. One sec. You are going to be shown a certain interesting word, mirage of truth. Okay, what I mean by that with these two cards is people may ask you to re-look at your environment as to whether or not it is a realistic reality all round. And the more connected you are with your truth, your higher self, and all your healing work that you, I'm sure, have very much done, because I feel like this is some battlers in this group. I feel like you guys know a thing or two, if I'm honest, more than a thing or two. So, warriors, okay? This is about correcting and healing and transitioning into a new phase, and being aware of the reality with a new perspective, having ingrained and inbuilt and anchored all of any soul fragmentation that have then been, you know, cleansed, alchemized, and rebuilt into you, because that does need to be reclaimed via the lessons, via the healing. but also to re-look at the future based on that reintegration, because you're going to be seeing something differently. In fact, you're probably going to be I'll be honest with you, if you guys have at any point had a problem with standing out from the crowd, get used to it. Like, I know that sounds a bit harsh, but you guys are kind of pioneers. This is about, see, look, you guys saw, this is all, I mean, this is some real intense stuff right here. This is about soul mission of creating something different. If you don't fit into the world, you create a new one. You know, it's along those lines. Again, if you're not resonating at all with any of this, what I would say is maybe have a double check at the first pick of tarot cards and see if this deck is going to continue to resonate with you, because this is, I feel, is a major theme. This is about not just a financial energy, this is a spiritual energy, okay? So don't forget, our finances reflect an internal process, okay? If we have fought to be heard, if we've fought to be ourselves, where you maybe were pinned as the underdog and you were labelled as of whatever X, Y, and Z that society wanted to label you, because they couldn't really bear digging too deep to understand the whole context of yourself within your multifaceted energetic being, physical being, you know, and all the other layers of spiritual kind of in-depth analysis, that you can't just go, yeah, that person's yeah, you know, that they're an empath. Is that it? Like, because there's so much more to it. This is about change. The investment is about not just your future, but creating a different timeline where you have ingrained all those lessons, of move forward and are creating something for everyone, because everyone will benefit. Because you understand, you are the people here that can read through the layers of crap and will dig. You're the diggers, you know, you'll be able to see through the absolute rubbish more than likely. And know deep down what needs to change. And maybe you'll be singing from the rooftops, or have done, but for this year the energy will be evolving into one where you're seeing a return of that. So it's not just you're singing from the rooftops, you're reclaiming your voice, you're ingraining your voice into the vision that you would like to uphold in the future, and it's a viable one, okay? Having done the healing work, and if you haven't, again, this is going to be January. I do want to say, got to give you this date, watch for around the 28th of January, please. We've got a really harsh square from Mars in Pisces into a few other key planets. I'll be honest with you, I've checked out the energy around that date, not liking the vibes. Be very aware if you are picking this pile of those around those dates, beginning a few days before, a few days after. If you are getting very strong energy through where you are starting to doubt your own name, okay, put it down and leave it until the energy passes, because at no point down that rabbit hole you'll get truth, okay? It's a very misleading energy, and it's designed to be a bit of an energy glory hole. I know that sounds a bit wrong, but it's like a bottomless pit of energy, and I feel like people are going to want to have their energy thrown into it. Don't buy into that, okay? Just make sure that you're vibrating in a different resonance, so that energy isn't hitting you, okay? Because it's not, look, I'll be totally honest with you, when I looked into it, I was like, okay, I'm trying to get the good. How are we benefiting from this? What's the reasoning as to why this energy sort of square is taking shape? I'll try and give you a bit more of a breakdown, but I think I screenshot it, did I? I don't know if I did, you know. But I know that when people were discussing it, people were not happy. I was like, thank you, thanks for the heads up. I'm happy. I need to know all this information because it helps. Okay, so a lot of information on here that I've screenshot, it seems. Okay, bear with me guys. Let me just pause this video while I get the information. Okay, so we've got the Moon, Neptune and Venus all in Pisces that is going to square Mars around the 28th. Mars will be in Sagittarius and the Moon, Neptune and Venus will be in Pisces. It's very heavy, okay? Look in, if you feel like on a deep level of your psyche that these days are unsettling towards you and then you start second guessing all your plans of the year, stop, wait, because again it's like a vortex and you are going to be, it's going to be like I said, an Alice in Wonderland rabbit hole, but there's no, you know, productive outcome. So that's just a heads up for you guys. Let me just see what else they want to say here. Give me 2 secs. Okay, is that it? You want me to move on? Okay, let's see. What's next, please, Spirit? You're in charge. You guys are in charge. What's next for part 1, please? February 2020. What can you give us here? What insight? What can you give us? Interesting. I'm getting an infinity loop. I'm getting an infinity loop here. Transference from the 5D into the 3D. A download that is going to be a huge increase in your energy, to the point where it could be that if you felt totally zonked for January, February is extraordinarily productive. Money as well, you'll be seeing a change. Let me just have a look here. No, they want me to just keep with the one card. Let me just get a channel on this here. Strike while the iron's hot in some regards. If your ideas are burning a hole of desire in you, you know you're on your right track. Do not at this point, this is the other thing. There's going to be a bit of a fire in your belly here. So we're going from a more earthly, grounded approach into a very fire. This is going to be very fiery energy around February time for you. Watch your more masculine elements around the driven, dynamic, very vocalized energy. It's great to sink energy into your passions, but just be wary that it's not just about passion. This is, you've got to be just, I feel like possibly you may get 1 or 2 people that are very vocal, which I mentioned previously, that are gonna lead you to test you a little bit, where you have to not bide your time or hold your tongue, but just to try and navigate around it without wanting to wring their neck. That's what they've just said. You will also find a great source of inspiration around the February month, and I'm seeing a lot of energy around love here as well. We pulled the King of Wands card here. Okay. You will be called upon to balance more of your feminine energies out. Okay, this is going to be a bit of a test for you guys, whereby your more empathic, more intuitive abilities are going to need to come to the forefront. Behind those, the more fiery, passionate elements. I'm hearing passion projects. Okay, so it could well be that you're taking January out, and then February you're full steam ahead. You've built into the sort of idea of exactly why you're doing this. You may also find yourself wanting to close yourself into a more hermited environment, very much Virgo energy there, where you are not sure who around you is going to be able to provide you with the insight and creative ability and manifestation that you're looking to create. You could also be getting the idea of taking yourself out of the current environment you are in and either going overseas or moving overseas permanently. For which point they're saying that would be a good idea. I'm getting an India link here. And I'm also getting, where do I want to say? Australia and or Africa. And I don't know why, but someone's just shouted Zimbabwe in my ear. Could be any one of you that's for Zimbabwe. Okay. If you're from Zimbabwe, awesome. Maybe that's your heritage and you're going back there. There's also some family connection here. I'm trying to get a link on this now. Someone's grandfather. A grandfatherly energy that is... Look out for the lessons and the way a grandfather lived. Because I feel like you're certainly gonna be getting support from this energy, but also it's like there's something about this energetic grandfatherly influence that... I'm gonna cry. Please don't make me cry. That's amazing. What an amazing energy. I feel like you've got support around you spiritually from this energy that is going to really lead you forward, because there's something about that person's path that they learnt a lot from, and they want to impart that on you to make sure that you move forward in the right way. One or two of them may have felt they'd let something down or something had happened, and they're trying to help you to navigate around that kind of generational karma. If that is the case, you've got a force to be reckoned with here, because this is a very dynamic, very evolved starseed energy. This is not just your granddad. This is probably a highly evolved set of star family. And again, if you don't resonate with that, there's a strong lineage here that is backing you 1000, because you're inspiring change based on your own principles of living. This is a massively inspiring energy. I feel like crying. It's very deeply touching. It feels like, although maybe physically you felt like maybe you weren't getting the backing or support or understanding, or maybe people labelled you as an outcast, or you felt like you were one, but upstairs you've got absolutely every type of backing you can imagine. In fact, I'm seeing an audience of guides here, and ancestors, and star family, and helpers, support, you know, all of the kind of affiliated, connected, lighted realms rallying around you guys in order to, wow, a wall. They're giving you a wall of strength, and it's literally like you're not touchable energetically. You can't be touched, and that's not because you're above the law or universal order, but because there is a shift that's waiting to happen, and you guys are contributing to that. Okay, now maybe one or two of you are sat there listening to this going, well, how? If you don't know, what I would suggest you do is, again, with the January information I gave, there's parts of that to do with the past maybe that you haven't quite integrated, that you may need to go back before you can go forward. Just an FYI, and if you do resonate with this, full steam ahead, okay? Watch for the information you get around dreams. There's a strong Neptunian and Pisces energy to this also. I want you to have a look at where your galactic center is meeting in your astrological chart. Okay, this is around what is in Sagittarius. Okay, now don't forget we've got that link from Mars near the galactic center. Okay, what else do you have around that point? Okay, around February, because there's a download that you're getting here that it could be that your sleep is extremely fruitful. Put a book next to your bed, write dream journals, because I feel like you're going to start collecting information. You're not going to have an idea what it's for, and then 8 months later, 9 months later, you're going to look back and think, what on earth? You know, you've just channeled my future. So this is for you, not for, I'm not, well, obviously hopefully for me as well, but towards you. But it's to help you, because there's a lot. This is the problem with these yearly energies. I'm one of these people. I want to tell everyone that you know, the dig as hard as I can to give everyone information. Sometimes these general readings frustrate the life out of me, because I want to know I'm giving information to absolutely everyone. So I'm trying to help to the point where you can then pick the ball up and run with it, so that you have the tools, okay? And the ability, well, you've already got that, but also the vision and the strength and the kind of support, you know. Wow, you've got some absolute, I'm getting Arcturian energy here, Palladian energy. There's a heck of a lot of very, you're talking 12D type of energetic. You guys, I mean, it's a breath of fresh air. I'll be totally honest. I feel honoured to connect with you guys. Is my skin going blue and green? It's an honour to connect. And the jigsaw pieces will start coming into place as to why you're here. I'll be honest with you, this is some very beautiful energy. Is actually potentially a lifelong connection where you'll start to finally feel like you're home within yourself. Okay, the homesickness of maybe being a starseed is not as overridden. And I'm hearing we are all here for you, okay? We're all here for you. Don't ever doubt that. I feel like crying. You guys have been through some absolute shiz. I'm going to be honest with you because I can feel it. Oh God, don't, Jale, for goodness sake, don't cry. Have I gone blue? I feel like I'm going blue. Archangel Michael. Very strong protection. Keep your heart as open as you can, okay? The worst is behind. The worst is behind. Oh my goodness. Okay, what do I do now? Because I feel like I'm going to cry. Wow, okay. One sec. This is, I'm getting an olfactory type of... I'm trying to connect with the smell of something. I don't know why they're giving me the smell. Okay, I get it. If maybe you've come out of a dark night of the soul, maybe you've already gone through an awakening. Hold on, because I feel like part 2's coming. This is a wake up, awakening type of vibration here. I'm feeling like someone's putting salt underneath my nose to wake me up. It's like I'm being shocked out of a paradigm that I've felt like I was locked into. The planet is shifting a lot of old conditioning and programming, and you guys are breaking through that mold, and I'm extremely proud to be able to give this message. I'll be totally honest with you, you guys have blown me away a little bit, and now I'm getting the feels. And they're talking about the time having come, so this is about divine timing. Again, a very strong nostalgia from the past about why you've had to go through these things, why you've had to struggle, why you've done it to make you you, okay? Don't ever dismiss you as the person you are, because we need you, okay? We need you as a planet. We need you. We need your view, your vision, your senses, your insight, your wisdom, your channeled pioneering, expansive, infinite. Don't forget, I got the 8 symbol. That is an infinite energy, okay? What do you want to see in this world? Because you'll be able to start creating that within yourself to then reflect as an external. This is not an... I'll be honest with you, I'm never going to see this card. I know I sound totally dramatic right now, but I'm never going to see this card again because I've just channeled it from this card. I'm going to have to sage it to try and remove the energy, because, and it's, don't get me wrong, it's brilliant energy, but I need my cards to be neutral, so you know what I mean, so I can pick up the energy, you know. What an amazing, I mean, that is some absolutely, God, we're on 44 minutes, this is going to be a 17-hour, right, okay, March. What else do we need to be aware of here? There's a very strong spiritual type of focus on these, on your year next year. March. You're cooking with gas. You're cooking with gas. We've got the King of Swords here, okay? This is Archangel Michael, in my opinion. I mean, maybe you can say, well, that's air. Maybe. But I'm just seeing that as Archangel Michael. Again, blue energy, you know. You're going to impart something where people are going to see you in a different light, hence my blue tinge of my skin earlier. Again, there's no coincidence to any of these readings and what they do with me, because I'm, you know, again, a channel for them. It's important to remain balanced at this point. Look for who comes back towards you around this point, around this March period. You're going to definitely be showing people a different perspective. Very revolutionary energy. And I don't know if you can hear outside, but it is absolutely torrential downpour, which is hugely cleansing. And that was a bit of thunder. That was another bit of thunder. It's literally ongoing now. Now I've just said that. Hang on, let me just check that that has to be, that's weird. I'm going to pause this while I look at the thunder map, one sec. So I've got to show you guys this. So apparently there is only thunder in my part of the country. The red dots. Okay, let me channel this message. Oh, this is, do you know, the last video I did, the same thing was happening. I'm like, okay. Yeah, I'm a geo-empath, so I do tend to absorb my environment. Okay. King of Swords. It's like you're getting a sword and you're kind of digging it into the ground and reclaiming your sovereignty of not just a previous year or a previous. I mean, this is a major soul lesson. I feel like you're wrapping up right here. They're saying it is. I've got goosebumps. Keeps going. Your speech. Look around your throat chakra for a clearing. Okay. Watch the information you're imparting to people, because I feel like, again, you probably can do what I can do, if I'm totally honest with you, and more. There's going to be a lot of communication discussion as well around this point. Some productive, some not so much, but maintain balance. Very much, I'm getting a very strong Libra justice energy here with this. Okay. The other thing they're saying here is around March. It's like I'm seeing you in your entirety, but your third eye is just penetrating out, and it's like you're a beacon essentially. Watch for what you attract. Watch what you put out there. They're asking me to take one more for March. Ten of Wands. Releasing. I'm hearing guilt as well. It's interesting we've got that as the orange card, because that is very much held around that sacral chakra. Why are you guilty? Why do you feel guilty? Well, this is a very subconscious energy. It's like you're clearing out your subconscious of patterning on all levels. It's not just in this lifetime, it's on all timelines, you know, which means parallel lives, you know, which means past lives. So obviously based on your awareness and or beliefs. You're putting that you're dropping what, and in fact you're dropping what your ancestors didn't. You guys are hardcore. Okay, which means look for patterns around love life and your parents' dynamic, because again it will resonate with that. Look for patterns around your, I'm hearing principles, but again in your career, your life path. Look for patterns of behavior that your parents, grandparents demonstrated, that you're alchemizing, you're transmuting in order to progress. It's like literally you're kind of upping anchor, okay? Not because you don't sort of, you know, feel like you're worthy of that, you know, you're above that. It's to create and carry what is good and needed to move forward, and what you've learned and to release anything that doesn't serve. And it's as simple as that. This is not about judgment. You have to release the guilt though. There's something about guilt being held on here for some reason. Okay, that's a huge theme in March. All right, massive theme. And again, don't forget, we're going to go into much more depth with each of the monthlies around your astrological sign. So I'm just trying to encompass as broad, you know, as much information that is needed really. Okay, interesting. They're talking about a swan song here, and I feel like it's to do with legacies. Okay, so what legacy was carried from your parental lineage and grandparental lineage, and what is your swan song? What will be your legacy? What will be your legacy? Now that's not to me putting it out there for you to sit there and feel awful and be like, I haven't got one. They're correcting that and saying you do. Okay. Not only do you have one, but you are also partially aware of what that is, if not totally aware. Okay, and what I would suggest you do is, the first thing that popped in your head when I said that is to start looking into that more firmly if you're not entirely confident. There's a karmic balance that's also taking place with this energy here, where you're starting to become rewarded around your efforts. This is again spiritually, financially, with the people around you, building the kinship. It's like you're around more, recognizing the soul, your soul family. You're going to have a lot of understanding about what that will be and what that is and what your needs are, you know, in terms of people that surround you. It's not a race. I've got to pass this on as I'm getting it, by the way. So if I feel like I'm jumping, it's just me giving you as they give it. It's not a race. This is not about race. Remove the idea of having to do something at this age. Remove the idea of having to do X, Y, and Z by this age. Remove the conditioning of having to do that kind of job by this age or be in this scenario. Release. Because there's a pressure here that I feel that you're trying to release here, and a guilt potentially that only serves to hold you back. It doesn't serve to progress you along the right vibration, and they're asking you to counteract that because it's something, potentially a pattern that you may have carried through from several lifetimes. If I'm totally honest with you, they're saying more than several lifetimes. Interesting. This is the one I also need to definitely listen to. Release the need to know the truth. Release the need to know immediately the answers. Okay, you have to release that because you may limit the energy stepping forward at that point. Sometimes the answers are needed for our own benefits rather than a deep understanding. Okay. And again, there's so much controversy when I use this word. I've never known a word to be so controversial, but watch your ego. Because, again, truth is meant to empower people rather than divide. And I'm not saying you are doing that. I'm just saying what's your need for the reason as to why you need the truth as within that microcosm that you're focusing on. Okay, focus on the bigger picture here, but then balance it between your immediate environment. Okay, and that's going to be the winning formula. I didn't even look at the other two cards that came out, and now I have. I'm like, okay, yeah, that's exactly what I just said. Ace of Swords, the clarity, the truth, the divinity, that kind of very pure, focused thunder energy that you're also having ideas coming through. With the moon as well, just make sure there's no illusionary energy here. That again, very Piscean, very similar to the last month. Watch how people speak the truth to you and how you respond, very much so. If you do gain new ideas, new perspectives around the March time, again, this is very air energy. This is very much around the mind, how the mind works, how the communication works. It's very much centered around the top kind of 3 chakras there and above, obviously the higher chakras. One sec, I'm trying to get they're trying to give me something here. Because of the previous months being so dynamic, it's like there's a bit of a settling in process here. So if you feel like things aren't as fast moving, it's just to recalibrate what's previously been known. Again, with that moon energy, so it can be confusing and illusionary, but it's also it's interesting because I just want to say it's a call to action. This is literally a call to action. It's like you've ingrained, you've anchored in the downloads of the previous couple of months and what you're learning and the healing and everything, and it's like you're starting to, it's like you're calling to action. You're setting a beacon out there to attract like-minded people to you as well. Okay, this is going to, again, I don't think you're as solitary as potentially the previous months. I see you being out and about more, busier, but it's like you've got a different perspective on how you're working towards things. I'm missing something here. I know I'm missing something that's so obvious. Maybe that's the point. Maybe that's the point. Again, remember the first message. Don't try and look for the truth. Taken on board, Jale. Taken on board. The truth will come to you. You don't have to look for it. The truth will come to you. Okay, and again, I know practicality wise, maybe you're sat there thinking, is that it? Is this all you're going to give me? What about my job? Am I going to pay my bills? Am I going to do this? While I totally understand that perspective, this may not be your pile, because this is not people that are solely focused on the 3-dimensional reality we're in. This is people that maybe have previously been very focused on that, but now are transitioning up to a more spiritual understanding and then reintegrating the 3D and the 5D, okay, as a balanced overall outlook, which is why I'm giving the information as per the client, the spiritual guidance, okay. This is not to say you just ignore your bills and other practical day-to-day responsibilities. This is about the focus that is needed as per these guys. It's not about me either, is, you know what I mean? Okay, maybe in April that'll come up. Let's have a look. Interesting. Don't be disheartened in April, guys. That's a really weird, hang on, let me just tune into this energy. This is a really interesting energy right here. In fact, I'm just going to say it as I say it. It's literally like piggybacking off the back of the last energy, where it's like you're trying to look for the truth. When you release it, it's like there's a timeline jump, and then you're in the reality already, and then you know the truth. Okay, so don't forget, if you are in that energy, release it. Because when we're holding on, like even me, where I'm sat here trying to trace along a linear type of energetic, kind of chord, let's say, or outcome or potential outcome, sometimes I can't do that. I have to let the energy come to me. It's the same with mediumship, right? And I'll be honest with you, I even spoke to a girl once who was learning mediumship, saying I didn't understand it. I was grabbing these people that have passed over and they didn't like it, and I'm like, would you? I said, can you imagine if you passed over and someone's grabbing you to come drag you back in? You got to let them come to you, which means you have to have a vibration of receiving. Bless her, it's a good question though. I laughed at the time thinking she's got to be joking, but I mean, it's a good question. It's because people don't think about that kind of thing, It's like we're tracing that energy, we're going after it. Let's just let it come to us. Let's have that vibration of being open. And bless her, I felt bad after laughing because I thought she was trolling me. I thought she was winding me up. And I was like, "Ah, yeah, good one." And she's like, "No, I'm serious." And I'm like, "Oh," and it was a friend, by the way. It wasn't someone like that was paying me. That would be really unprofessional. But yeah. Wow, this is not just a timeline jump. Essentially what I've just said in 3 cards. Wow. Guys, I'm going to have to, I think I'm going to have to show all these cards at once because it's just such a powerful energy. The Tower, change your life. Okay. I'm not sure if that's focusing in properly, guys. I'm so sorry. Okay, we've got the Tower. The Empress. Stunning energy. The Ace of Swords. Okay. Change. Total reprogramming of that change. Releasing illusions, releasing the need to go somewhere, releasing and allowing it to come, okay? Empress energy, extremely receptive, divine feminine energy that encounters all of the other queens in the deck, okay? Fire, air, earth, water, into one evolved feminine energy. And if you're watching this and I'm not female, that's fine. It's your feminine side of yourself. We have male and female energies. With the Ace of Swords, the truth, to gain that truth, to gain that understanding, okay? Oh yes, April is going to be interesting. It's literally like the stabilizer wheels have come off the bike and that's it. You've got it. You've got it. You know, it's like you've cottoned onto a new way of understanding something, and that's you. That's you closing a chapter of something, and it's big. Okay, this is not just your little kind of I've learned a soul lesson. This is like potentially you're resolving karmic lessons from ancestors and generations ago, which didn't manage to get as far as you have. So if that is the case, I wholeheartedly congratulate you, because that's massive news. And they're saying, again, they're all in unison here. My guides are never in unison. They're always arguing because they're never in full agreement with each other. I don't know what that's about. It's probably something to do with me, because I argue with them. Oh, we have fun, don't we, eh? It's about, they're all in unison with this. This is a major, it's like, you know how you kind of look through binoculars and you're trying to fine tune to get that right vision? The fine tuning is taking place and you can see exactly what is needing to be seen, okay? And that's the thing, you allowed that energy to come to you, okay? So just make sure in April, if you feel like you're hitting against a brick wall, release, okay? That goes for love, that goes for money, that goes for anything you're trying to push through, okay? Release the need to control. All right, and again, people that read everything into what I'm saying wrong, this is not me calling you a control freak. We're human beings, and sometimes we demonstrate other energies that do not benefit us, okay? But because we're not robots, of course we have to finely tune those. We have to ensure that we work on ourselves, on our weaknesses, so that we are benefiting from learning and grow, so we can move forward and deal with things in a more light, higher vibrational way. This is where you are not only closing the door on the chapter of that and walking in your new path. You've locked the door, you've cemented it up, you've got a bit of polyfiller around it as well, and then you've basically just gone, right, black hole, bye-bye. And it's wrapped up, absolute kind of bow on the whole thing, goodbye, cherry on top as well. It's that kind of energy, and well done you, because that is not, I can only imagine what you have to go through to go, because this is not some, it's like a relief. I just feel relief, and I feel like I've got my energy back. You know, it's like there was a bit of a kind of ploddy energy going on at some points in between the last couple of months, from sort of January to April. This is like someone's just batted something out of the park. He got a home run and everyone's cheering. They are. Yeah, they're cheering. They're all cheering it on. They want you to get to that point. Be clear in who you are. Be clear and transparent in who you are, and never underestimate that, okay? Got to really hit that home, because for some reason, yeah, again, I've just had an email that's just caught my attention talking about children. Okay, this may also be the case. Could be a male child with the Ace of Michael. Obviously not everyone. Be free to live in your child-like playfulness. Not everything has to be serious. This is also something I need to listen to. Remember and connect to the more playful elements of yourself, because that's going to help as well when you release. Okay, if you release, focus on the more innocent, pure elements of you, rather than the heavy path that you've been navigating. Okay, my ears are blocking up here, there and everywhere. My stomach's rumbling. I always get that when I'm yawning, because it's like a recycling situation. It's all recycling. I'm absorbing this energy to recycle it. I'm not even tired. It's just I'm releasing, because I'm absorbing this energy, and something just ran down that side. I don't know what it was. I'll have to look back on the video. Every time I look back on these videos, and when I think I've seen something, I'm like, what the heck is that? The left side, listen to your guides. My left ear's popping on and off. Speak to them as well. If you feel like you need help with it, you need to speak to them upstairs, because they can hear everything. I always speak to clients. I'm like, yeah, you asked for this, didn't you? They're like, how did you know that? I said, they're telling me. They're like, she was like, I'm sat on my bed, I didn't know they could hear. I'm like, yeah, they can hear everything. That's why when I tell them off, I get totally dragged, because they're like, who do you think you are? And I'm like, fair enough. May. There's something strategic as well that it's like you've set a course. You've set a course of navigation. You've set a course of navigation. Okay, interesting. Interesting. Do me a favour. This is May. Watch for something, again, not quite being able to be taken up on, because the Ace of Gabriel, Ace of Wands is in reverse. We've also pulled out the Two of Wands, so indecision. Okay, my ears are popping like crazy. I can barely hear myself talk. And then yet again, to confirm, we've got the Three of Cups. We've got two cards that are reversed that I haven't turned up right because they're asking me to leave them there. This is the first three. What energy are you asking to be put into different things? There could be three areas that are going to cause you to kind of question whether to release energy into all three areas, okay? One could well be a bit of a dud, if I'm totally honest with you. The other two may need a decision. Don't, again, if you're getting people, friends, family, chipping in, giving them their pennies worth, going, oh, I think you should do this, I think you should do that, great, brilliant, you've got that support, but just make sure that you're discerning with your own higher self if that is in fact useful for your journey, because I feel there's a bit of a distractive energy going on here around May. And I'm just thinking about everything else they're trying to say to me here. One sec. if you feel the need or have a pattern of getting away from it all, just watch that pattern or process. If you're one of these people that tend to run from problems, no shade, just be aware that this could also be the start of a new lesson that's being asked to be looked into for the good of your own self. What are you not wanting to integrate within yourself and maybe shadow elements of you? You could also be asked to choose between a career, life mission and or partner. Watch for the previous month as well, that when that kind of upgrade after the Tower moment happens, you're not kind of what's the word, taking your eyes off the ball, thinking, I've done my job now. Like, I've had enough, because the work has to continue. I'll be honest with you, my ears are still popping. I'm still trying to get I can't hear a damn thing. I'm trying to listen to what they're saying, and I'm like, I can hear muffled, like. Let me just tune in. Yeah, that's the message. You're not listening at that point. Make sure that you're staying connected into that kind of link, because as we get into the kind of summer months, don't forget what the spring months brought you, all the around the sort of April, May time, if that makes sense. One sec, let me just sort my ears out. I can't hear a thing. Okay, it could be a grounding thing. If you do a lot of walking, if you're still asking Gaia permission for you to ground into her, and you're still getting that kind of energy, because it's stopped now, I've pinpointed what the message was. Hold your hand over your crown chakra for up to a minute, and then take your hand off, because that will ground you as well. Yeah, see, look, I can hear now. So yeah, this is about make sure you're grounded. Okay, so what influences are around you that are good, and what influences are around you that are causing you to go maybe too high up to that spiritual realm, and maybe you're not as balanced within the physical and the spiritual. That's also another lesson. Okay. That's also the reason why my ears are popping, because I've just gone shot up like a little bungee. I'm trying to get back down to get the info. I've got to laugh. I'm in a washing machine right now, I'm not going to lie. They're just giving you a balanced insight, so that you're not in the May month sort of so spiritually aligned or spiritually focused. Yeah, conscious awareness of being in your body. So like just really feeling into your body there, because that will ground you as well. You know, that heart center, feel the sensation around your toes, you know, that kind of thing. Just really connect with the body. There's also going to be, I'll be honest with you, there's something around the body. I keep getting this left. Again, if you're getting issues around your left ear in May, okay, firstly, obviously go and seek doctor's advice, okay, number one. But the other thing, if it is an issue around the ears, is it because your guides are trying to connect with you, and you need to focus in and balance or get that kind of vibration right? Don't forget, we have to match the vibration to have that connection, and we don't chase after it, grab it, drag it along, you know, kicking and screaming. We have to match so we're met, you know. They don't want me giving me these messages. They're just like, I can tell. Let me just ground for a second here, because this, yeah, we have to get into the energy of the month, and it could take a while for you to get into that energy. I'm not gonna lie. I feel like this is like I'm on a tightrope right now, trying to get back down into that balanced energy. So again, watch for May, beginning part of May being a bit like woo, you know, like way we're on a rocket ship going up to Mars, like type vibe, you know. Right, let me just rebalance and get some more information here. One sec. Yay. Just balance that out. It will be okay. But if you're trying to get into a swing of something and it's just not working for you, it's because they're trying to hold you back before you balance. Don't forget we had the Ace of Pentacles Ace of Wands in reverse. It could just be they want you to recalibrate first before they, you're off and doing certain things. All right. So again, if you're feeling like you're held back, May, then you might know why. Okay. Again, we've got the Three of Pentacles in reverse here and the Six of Cups in reverse. What is it from the past that's coming back that's trying to draw you back? All right. Because there may well be people, things, places that may want to sort of come towards you around the May time, and vibration might not be great, and or might kind of catapult you into some spiritual realm that is not balanced. It's all well and good talking through and watching starseed transmissions, but if that's all you're doing, then we're also having to live in this reality as well. We have to balance that. Just watch for that, and just pay attention who comes back around that time, because not all may benefit. All right, let's have a look. June Spirit 2020, Part 1. Apparently I didn't even need to shuffle. There's 3 cards. What am I doing? Am I leaving them? Yeah, 4 cards have literally just flown out of the deck and I've been told to leave them. Interesting. This is the counterbalance point of the year, June. The situation in May was to test what you'd learned from April, okay? So just make sure, because otherwise they're going to keep testing you, all right? Annoying, yeah. Our friend, the Five of Pentacles, has popped up again. This was the reference from January, which was about a balancing of energies, okay? Financial energies, spiritual energies, okay? This coming back again for me is basically saying, hi, did you learn everything yet? Okay, because there's a risk with that Six of Cups that we had in May that you're going to sink energy into something. Again, don't forget you might not be balanced, and then it's going to come back in June and you'll be like, what the heck was I doing? And their spirit is saying, we're trying not to wind you up here, but we want you to learn, and this was a little naughty test, all right? No one's going to remember this in June, but I'm hoping some of you might, okay? Because the worst thing when you've literally trodden up a blooming mountain is when they go, oh, you've learned it, oh yay! 3 months later, let's throw another little tester out there to see, and then trust me, I've done this a lot myself. We fail a little bit, just a little, fail. Don't like that word, but it's a little bit of a test that maybe we overlook. Be aware, and again, use discernment. Okay, so that's just the warning there of a slight potential loss of energy, okay? And again, it doesn't have to, look, let's say you forget what I'm saying in June, this happens, and then, May, June, June it happens. It's not the end of the world, it just means that you can focus on that now. Okay, we've got 5 of Wands, all right? So again, change. This is about action and change. We've got 2 5s on the board. We've got 2 5s on the board there. So you're talking of huge change. Double 5. The fact that you've got a double 5, this is a big life change, all right? This is a big life change. It might well be that you've put down what could have been presented around the June time and you're transitioning into your path fully, okay? Which means new opportunity, all right? Action orientation, energy, this is passion. This is not your wishy-washy kind of like, this is fast moving, all right? It's almost like you've passed your test, and even if you didn't before, you're going to get another chance to, all right? So don't sort of sit there and go, oh no, if you watch this in June next year and think, oh no, look, it's not, we're human, we're not, we wouldn't need to be here if we didn't need to learn, we all do, so unfortunately, or fortunately, however you want to look at it. From this, we get another perspective here. This is the High Priestess here, so this is again June, all right, June, sort of July into July. It's massive upgrade. This is about look, you're walking into a different kind of lineage or timeline here. And need I say any more? Because then we've got the 9 of Pentacles leading on from that, which is abundance. 9 of, you know, this is like your manifestation ability. So there's an imparting of a reward based on what exactly you had, you know, moved out of and moved through, because we don't jump over obstacles, we have to work through them, otherwise we don't learn and heal in the right way. You know, so that very abundant 9 of Pentacles is a very much a wish card. It's very much so your June time is going to be way playing. It looks very, I mean, look, the energy feels lighter. I'm not, you know, my ears aren't going mental. I'm not sat here yawning every I've had to pause about 100 times a yawn because I'm recycling the energy, you know. I absorb absolutely everything. So I'm absorbing it and then I have to release it. All right. So obviously now that's passed, the energy is a lot clearer. Okay. Now again, you might sit there and think, wow, if I can't wait till June. Of course, this is an overall look. It doesn't mean to say you're never going to be happy between then and June. That's not what I'm saying. I'm talking about when the good stuff, you know, it's like, wait, because this is not just your, these cards here are not just your, you know, well, we'll give you an average. We're not sure what to give you. We're just going to, it's like you're getting your rewards from all your hard work. Okay. And it was worth the wait because you've closed it out. It's a fully closed cycle, which is huge. It's like, I don't actually think, I mean, look, again, if you're viewing this as, oh my goodness, look at all that work I have to do and then in June I have to wait, I suggest to you maybe this is not your pole, because I feel like those who are going to understand what I'm saying here are going to know what they're up against and what their lives are, which means that it's not just going to be a click, yep, we can, because I heard the other day someone talking about they're creating a pyramid where they're going to release their karma, burn it up to release their karma, and then that's them. And I was like, fab, can I put my name down? Because I want to watch this, because I'm sorry, at no point, my guys were wetting themselves, going, yeah, go on, Jale, you have a go at that. Because listen, do you think I haven't looked into these loopholes? Like, we have to do the work. We can't jump over it. We can't go around it. We have to walk through it, because that's what creates the learning, right? And I get it. Fair play. At least they're trying something, not judging. But think about it. You know, you're basically saying the universe doesn't understand what they're doing, and so I'm going to do it. You know, I'm the one to impart this kind of, you're not only underestimating upstairs, but then you're basically saying that universal order shouldn't exist and that you should just be able to loophole through life. Listen, I would love that, but it's not why we're here. You know. And they're all finding it hilarious. This is the other thing, that they don't, I mean, they're not, my guides aren't angry. It's just that they find it ridiculous, because I feel like the people that were involved in that project should know better. They're evolved people, you know. They're not silly by any stretch of imagination. I mean, fair play, they're trying it out, but I wish them the best of luck. This, however, is you transitioning into something that you have really worked hard for, okay, and you've tried, okay, and I respect that massively, because you wanted to try and you did it. You got there and you came out the other side, and you are rewarded. There was a gift at the end of it, and there will be a gift. Haven't felt led to use Oracle, but I'm going to have a look at what your gifts could be. Just because you guys seem to have worked so much and so hard for this, I feel like I owe it to you guys. So let's see what they're going to tell us. What are the gifts here? June to July, please, Spirit. 2020 for those who picked pile 1. What's this gift? It's going to be different for everyone. What is the overriding theme of the gift, please? Or what is the overriding common denominator of the gifts that will be involved for those who picked pile 1 around the June-July period, which led from the High Priestess card and the 9 of Pentacles, please? Thank you. I don't actually know what to say. Okay, I'm trying to talk. One sec. Firstly, I have to say congratulations. Wow. Wow. Let me start from number 1. Okay, so this is the first card that was pulled. Okay, new life. Okay, congratulations. They're confirming that this is now the end. I'm trying not to cry. It's something that should be respected about how you've gone about this, and fair play to you because you deserve it. Okay, that's number 1. Card number 2. This is the Yang card, which is about the masculine. Okay, it's also the number 1 card. Card number 3 is the Yin card, which is also about the feminine. That's the number 2 card. Oh, and it doesn't end there. It doesn't end there. The last card pulled was To Be Fair. This is the card that is also signifying justice. It can also signify Libra, but also it adds up to the number 11. If you or any of you are linked to twin flame soulmates, if any of you are wanting to become married, if any of you are wanting to resolve a karmic debt and or karmic soulmate situation and wanted the balance to be restored, if any of you want balance restored in your own life, within your own energies, your own masculine and female energies, and recalibrating that so that there's a balance there, these 4 cards are delivering those to you. Okay, now there are many other scenarios that this could encompass, but this is just the main ones I'm getting. If I get any more, I'll pass them on, but this is essentially what you're being gifted with. This could also be marriage as well. Okay, I mean, look, I'll be totally honest with you, I feel like I'm blown away a little bit. Oh my goodness, I've just realised we've got 38, 39, 1 and 2. They both add up. So that is adding up 1 and 2, right? And then we've got 11 and 12. So we've got 1, 2 and 3. All right. So this could also be talking about families. All right. That's very much that kind of twin flame energy, very much of number 3 type of energy there. Mind, body, spirit. I'm blown away. That's insane. Oh no, please. Hang on. They were like, if you think that, honestly, they cracked me up. If you think that's good, look at the bottom of the deck. Look at the picture. I'm just going to let them speak now. You don't need me. You know what I mean? Oh my goodness. I've got chills. I was about to say they're multiplying. I'm not saying that. My spirit guide has got the most hilarious sense of humour. Oh my goodness. And I'm losing control. From the power, it's electrifying. That freaking thunder earlier. Goodness. And do you know what? It's stopped now. I must have been generating some kind of weird energy here. Like, I'm going to have to... This is insane. Obviously, you get negative and positive particles that meet in order to create a reaction. No other part of the country had it. I'm like, oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, it's so cool. That's so funny. So anyway, the thunder and lightning, we know what that's about, okay? This is clearing the air. What did I say earlier with that rain? It's clearing everything. Don't forget, I am literally a sponge for everything. So with all the weather scenario, it's all adding up to the information they want me to impart. We're coming up to an hour and a half yet. We haven't even got to July yet. So hold on to your horses. Hold on to your horses here, guys. I've got good vibes. I've got good feelings for this. Right. Was that July? I can't remember now. It's all merging into one. Is it July? Let's see, July 2020, pile 1. Those who picked pile 1. Pile 1, please. Pile 1, please. July 2020, thank you. Oh my goodness, I'm getting awesome vibes here. Whoa. Nope, put it back the same. Oh my hands aren't working. I'm still blown away from those. They're so sneaky, aren't they? I love how they do this stuff, things. Okay. Oh my goodness, and now I'm juggling cards. Yeah. Leap of faith. If you don't resonate with the tribe, with the family, the kinship, this is the Fool card, okay? This is about a brand new cycle. This is the number 0 card. It's also linked to Archangel Metatron, who's obviously the dude up in the universal grid upstairs, who is very much about geometric, sacred geometry and alike. Go for it. This is all across the board. This is not just go for it in love. Go for it. Whatever you know in July is for you. This could also be children, again, with the Fool card there, linking to that sort of younger energy, that kind of free-spirited energy. Okay, don't forget, it's like you've been liberated. This has been a liberation process and you're free. That's you gone. Bye, done. New cycle, I'm off. Learned my lessons, don't need to worry anymore. Well, obviously, you know, this is the good part that we've been waiting for. So, good on you. July is going to be, and again, same with the energy that I was tapping into with that July, it's peaceful, you know, it's like there's productive energy going on with it, but it's like you've just kind of, you're having a little wee break, you know, it doesn't feel, yeah, they want me to talk about, okay, so July is definitely a respite period, and it's good vibes. I'm not getting anything. Let me pull Oracle card. What can we see for July, please? For pile 1, 2020, pile 1. What is the clarification you can give to the Fool, please? Yeah, confirming what I've just said there. Time for a nap. Okay, so this is about rest. This is just about, you know, having a little break, all right? So just so you're not thinking, well, she only did one card, only 3 minutes for July. I'm going on what they think, not what, you know, what I think. So they're just saying this is about a respite. So we're on to August now, August energy. Way, Mr. Magician, this is about manifestation. There's some, or Mrs. Magician. You can manifest the life you want, and what you need will magically appear. Successful beginnings. So again, you're having a wee break, and there's that very much that enhanced energy of positive alignment on your path, that you have successfully released the anchor of the old and are well and truly visionary, kind of pioneering forward. Okay, you're going to have some choices though, all right, because you probably will get to that energy and think, what on earth am I going to do? I've got 1,000,001 choices. I've got the 2 of Pentacles there, so it's a bit of a juggling act going on. Okay, a little bit of a juggling act going on there. Okay, don't forget you can see the yin and the yang in the background. This could be to do with love. It could be to do with any area, if I'm totally honest with you. I don't know if it's necessarily finances. It could be though. Make sure when you get into this energy, you're not kind of charging ahead and sort of like burning all your candle at both ends, and it's like all that rest you've just had for the you know, the month or so. You're just burning yourself out immediately because you're like, yeah, I'm free, you know, like it's like someone's just catapulted you into a situation. You're just kind of like, let's go. Because again, we've got Page of Wands here. That's that very kind of young spirited energy. This is also a fire sign energy, a young child energy potentially, and it's following a dream, a passion. It's like you're channeling, or you're tuning down what exactly is going to be of benefit and what isn't, and you're taking a focused approach towards that. I'm just getting a link with what they want to say about this August energy. Time for the right moves. don't forget that page can develop still into the king, all right, where it's a fully manifested idea or approach or energy. But just again, because you've got it with the Two of Pentacles, watch what you're manifesting. Is this something that is in your highest and best interests? Okay, majority it will be. Some one or two of you could sort of sit there and go, why didn't it manifest? This video is rubbish. You have to make sure with manifestation that you are not. This is the thing, when you're manifesting, if you sit and say to spirit, I want this, okay, and they think that it doesn't serve you, your manifestation hasn't not happened. It's just that this is, you've manifested what you do want, because they're actually giving you a new path to get what you should be getting and what you are going to need. All right, watch for that, okay, and watch for how that closure of the chapter has changed you and how you moving forward. Again, this is again another test, I'm not going to lie. Even when they give you a gift, they're going to go, are you going to be greedy? Because if you are, there's a recalibration all round. It's not just as above, so below. It's not just around our weaknesses that we're working on. It's around our strengths, so that we can effectively ensure that we're not just slinging mud against the wall and hoping it sticks. There has to be a reason. What's our highest and best interest? What's our soul mission? Are we remembering our dreams from January? Not just releasing the old, but are we still sticking to that? Because there was a reason that we were being transitioned through that, Focus. Focus is needed for your own path, not for ours. They're saying this is not about us, this is about your own good. There's something around your throat chakra as well. Every time I turn on a video and my throat chakra goes, I know that some people need to release things they're holding in. Okay, empowerment. But this could have transitioned through until July, where we're hitting upon another cycle where we want to speak out and then we're not sure what we want, so we're manifesting something else, and then we don't speak out about the old thing, and then that other new thing is distracting us somewhere else, and then we're going into a new cycle or pattern where, because this never ends, this is essentially the spiritual process. Just because you close out one cycle doesn't mean to say the rest of your life you don't have any other ones. There are going to be continuous tests. This is part and parcel of specifically maybe what you're going to need to learn this year. I know I do. I'm not even, definitely cannot sit there and go, well, it's not going to be me. It is. I'm too good for the lessons. I wish. Your true path is calling. Your true path is calling here. Okay, they just want to make sure that you are aware of that true path. And when the time gets a bit tougher and there's a bit of distraction, are you going to stick to that? Because this is essentially about, kind of crawling before we can walk with every new stage of our lives, so that we're not running into a new kind of path that then leads us somewhere, that is going to extend our lessons, and it is going to cause potentially harder work, Not to say you've done that before. One or two of you, they're saying you have. Going to be real. So it's just to ensure that there's an awareness here, so that you are fully supporting yourselves. And I'm just hearing one or two of you may have watched that and thought, I don't know if I deserve this. You do. And we need to dig into why you feel you don't deserve this, okay? Because I just keep hearing that in my head. I don't know if I deserve this. You do. Is there a pattern of self-sabotage that we need to be removing? All work and no play as well makes dullness. Okay, now this could be what September's message is, but let's have a look. September 2020, pile 1 please. What is it we need to know? September. You might be caught in a little bit of a, as per exactly what I've just said, a little bit of a distraction with this. Something's pulling you back in around the September time, as per the August-September time, where are you wanting to really manifest this, and is it for your highest and best good? Because there's something, it's like you've got your path and where you're meant to be going, and there's a potential for a crossroads where you're going, yeah, but I want that, that's shiny, that looks great, it's going to be quicker. Okay, Two of Pentacles. Now the reason I'm saying that is we've got the Queen of Wands straight afterwards. All right, we've got the Queen of Wands straight afterwards. This is someone who wants it quickly, usually very passionate. Now, yeah, of course, this can also be a very dynamic energy, very self-assured energy. But do you remember we had the call to action on this side, and now it's moved on to this side, all right, which is on her left side. Okay, choices around the September time, the path, is it for your highest and best interest, or is it leading you down another crossroads, which is rerouting you back to April to go, yay, celebration, we passed the lesson, right, we need to start from scratch, because actually July and August, not sure if they're getting their new lesson that they're meant to be put on. All right, I mean, yeah, we could dig, let's have a dig and see what this could relate to. Two of Pentacles, Queen of Wands, please. What is the key messages? Yeah. Building blocks, one step at a time. All right, we're starting something, we don't need to rush with it. It needs to take time. This is a, don't forget, the first energy in January takes a process. Okay, this is a 28 card adding up to a 1. All right, so don't forget, like the story I told you about this pyramid where they're burning karma. Is this, are you trying to fast track something here and thinking, I want this now? Because great, perfect, you're that dynamic, but is this the right thing? And if it is, let's take it slowly, because we need to make sure that the building blocks are perfectly in place so that we can build something of a secure nature that has been taken time, effort and energy and practical care into shaping so that it lasts. Okay, don't forget that earth energy at the beginning of the reading in January, that very grounded approach. This is dynamic and fire-based energy, sort of Aries, Leo, Sagittarius vibes. All right, and then a little bit of indecision mixed into it. All right, so usually is there a will that you're enforcing onto a decision because you want things done, because you're thinking, I've just listened, I've been caught back from this reason, and I've counted my blessings now, but I don't want to make the same mistakes again, so I'm overshooting. Just be careful and recalibrating that energy, because it's not meant to be provided for that. It's meant to be for you to decide and discern the choices at hand, for you to then willfully move forward, which is going to take a lot of, you know, patience, because building blocks, these things don't get built overnight. Don't get burnt out, you know, either by overshooting or choosing something and then thinking, well, I've just wasted time. You've got to take discernment, you know. Clarify building blocks, Queen of Wands and Two of Pentacles, Spirit. Okay, again, what did I say at the beginning? Do you have a programming around time? I have to be here at this time, and I need to do this at this time, and I have to be married at this time, and I've got to have my first kid at this time, I've got to have a career to this level at this time. Is that your opinion, or is that society's opinion, or is that family's opinion? Whose opinion is it? Whose opinion is it? Whose opinion is it? Not that this will ever focus ever. Maybe that's a message in itself for some. Okay. Are you chasing something again? Is that the little tests that they're putting on? Are you starting to forget that lesson? All right. Majority of you probably not, but this is why they're giving me this to say, let's ground, let's recalibrate here. Is this for your good, or are you trying to run at 50 miles an hour because you think you're behind time? If you reach your soul mission and your alignment in your own path, time is a man-made concept, all right? Just be aware of that. Okay, so let's go into October. October, please, Spirit. Those who picked pile wall. Pile 1, please, October 2020. Pile 1, October 2020, please. Those who picked pile 1, thank you. Oh, here we go. I feel like there's a decision coming. Yeah. 7 of Pentacles. Okay. The investment that has been built up over the previous couple of months. One more they're asking me to get. The investment. Okay. Don't forget the building blocks. Are you potentially going to wait it out and try and build something? It doesn't matter if you know the course of action is the right one, as long as you take your time. Okay. Is it care of yourself that you're also needing to focus on, rather than, you know, running at 100 miles an hour and, you know, listening to what other people's opinions are of how you should maybe be presenting yourself in this lifetime? What about yourself and your needs? What about your own emotions? Okay, invest time into yourself around this time in October. In fact, I'm hearing you're going to need to invest time back into yourself and reconnect and center yourself, because I feel like you haven't given yourself long enough to get to know yourself again with all these changes, and this is meant to bring you back to a 0 point so you can connect again with that heart center. Okay, this is the other thing. Both of the figures in these cards have staffs that they're holding in their right hand. That's a very masculine type of energy. All right, what do you need to do to make a stand? Reconnecting with that original plan that you had at the beginning of the year. I'm hearing all change. All change. A new investment is taken up, a new investment, a new project, a new plan, a new idea that is going to be refocused upon around this month of October. Just connecting with the energy. You need a plan, okay? So again, if the previous couple of months you're sat there thinking, oh, I'm still undecided, reconnect. You have to really try and remember back to the beginning of the year when you made that kind of very clear acknowledgement that you knew what you were doing. Do you remember what that was? Because this is where I think we need to look, and again, reinvest with those building blocks. But this is about emotional, you know, your emotions. This is not someone's pipe dream. This is someone's heart, that, you know, your heart that you know to be true. It's almost like you're also battling with the preconceived ideas of you and who you should be versus who you actually are on a spiritual, physical, emotional level, and every level. And that's what's being recalibrated as well. It's like you're battling with societal kind of expectations and what you've put on, you know, not just other pressure from other people, maybe things that you've even put on pressure on yourself. Dare to be different. Dare to be different. Okay. Challenge accepted. I'm just hearing dare to be different. Challenge accepted. And dare to be the one that carries out the master plan. Maybe you've got a dream that, again, in amongst this positive kind of soul lesson you've learned, and then the celebration, and then the choices ahead of you, you've forgotten that. Okay, and then you thought, well, oh, this is happening now, I'm just gonna, you know, my love life has taken off, or there's a balance with all this now, so I'm just gonna focus on this, and actually I'm not gonna look back on my dream. Why? Because you know what, this is great, but from what they're saying is the dream was given based on the kind of promises that were made, which were, I'm going to recalibrate, I'm going to balance, I'm going to, you know, sort my situation out, I'm going to look at the spiritual and the physical, I'm going to balance and walk the gold line, as my guides call it. And if you're then just focusing on one area and going, well, I've got my rewards now, I don't need to look at that dream I had as well at the beginning of January, because I thought they're two different things, with maybe a love life and an actual dream and a career. they're going to sit and say, okay, well, if you're not prepared to look back on that, what was the point of our trying to give you a top up? Because we wanted to inspire you to continue, not to go, well, I've got what I wanted, now bye. Is that a fair energy exchange? Don't forget the 5 of Pentacles with the Queen of Pentacles at the end. Don't forget we started with the 5 of Pentacles, with that imbalance of that energy, that finances, with the Queen of Pentacles, okay, which shows a transition from, you know, maybe being a little bit out of balance and wanting change in that energetic exchange, and wanting change about what's coming in, and wanting change financially, wanting change career, all areas potentially, maybe for some, to that transition of Queen of Pentacles being in that wealth of that abundance. Don't forget that was the first card, and they're saying, are we aligning with that? Are we sticking to our, essentially our promise? So again, don't forget January could also be providing, watch what you're putting out there, because if you start promising it and they're going, here we go, we'll give you something in April, let's see how they respond, and there's no gratitude, eek. What are you going to do when you ask your next manifestation thing? I mean, you can try it, maybe it'll, you know, who knows, but it's balance. This is not just about, this is balance overall with every energetic exchange that we have in this universe. We are all connected, we are all interconnected. When we go against ourselves, we go against everything. We go against the universal order, and then a balance will then be seen elsewhere. Don't forget that Justice card. That is exactly the same. It's about universal order, okay? The balance of yin and yang, the balance of masculine and feminine, the balance of light and dark. When we are in ourselves not adhering to that, do you think the universe is going to sit and go, right, mudsling, let's have a look, let's see if she's going to learn or he's going to learn this time? Because they're not, they're going to keep, and it's, again, if you are sat there thinking, well, that's disgusting, welcome to the dualistic environment we're in. This is what, I mean, of course, you know, let's say we don't follow a spiritual path. Let's say we are Joe Bloggs up the road, who is maybe not really interested in spirituality. Yeah, maybe that's what the life that they're viewing. But when we're looking at your level of soul, which, let's be realistic, this part clearly has a very evolved soul, they're not playing games, because they want you to get to where your soul wants and needs to be, your higher self, where you, within this avatar, this meat suit that you're in, needs to be as an awareness. You know, it's, again, it's meant to help. It's meant to provide clarity. All right. Otherwise, what's the point of all your hard work? It just goes towards nothing. If it doesn't mean anything, it just means like, whatever. We'll build a pyramid and burn some karma. It'll be fine. You know, it's that kind of thing. It's like, and again, I don't want to keep using these guys as an example because I feel guilty now. I keep using them, but just keeping it real. Like, you know, if it was that easy, everyone would be. Can you imagine all the pain in this world that people have caused, and then they reincarnate next time and they're like, well, it's fine, just burn from a pyramid, it'll be fine. You know, you've done some atrocious things, but you know, it's fine, just burn it from that. It doesn't work like that. You've got to understand the pattern of how karma works and the whole picture, not just a snapshot. All right, so just be aware for that October time. November, please, Spirit. November, please. 2020, those who picked number 1. 2020. November, those who picked part 1, please. Thank you. Wow. November is your opportunity to be at the level of Queen of Pentacles, confirming that fully evolved process, okay? Queen of Pentacles, this is the manifestation. From that, the new beginnings yet again, another cycle being closed. It's like we've recognized the work you put into us. Now the universe pays off and gives back, because you've wrapped up the lessons, you've taken on the love, and then you're still sticking to your life path, okay? You're still acknowledging that spirit are working with you as opposed to against you, to build in those lessons so that we can close out now 2 lessons potentially within this year, major lessons, 1 huge one, if not 2 huge ones, in order for that balance, that that abundance, that energy, that money. This is not just an energetic repaying. This is money, tangible, physical. You've transmuted that energy, and you've basically manifested from the 5D. You know, violet flame transmuted it, a bit of alchemy, and then it's like a pound coming out in your hand, or money coming out in your hand, to show the effects of that as above so below, that 8 energy that we saw. Okay, so November time, this is going to be really positive for the manifestation of the full year. You're going to be seeing the effects of all of your hard work, and good for you. Congratulations. Okay, however, however, let's say if the previous month you forget, or maybe you're sat there thinking, yeah, what does she know? Cool, you do what you need to do. There's a little risk here. I'm going to give you a heads up right now, that if you didn't fully close out that last chapter and you thought, no, I'm just going to sink all my eggs into one basket, the second part of the lesson I don't care about. 5 of Swords, okay? Who are you competing against? Are you competing against them or you? Sorry. Are you fighting yourself, or are you fighting them? What? There's something in this energy here that if you don't fully close this out, it feels like, I'm going to use the word they're using, a bit of bitterness, that maybe your path isn't the easiest and your path isn't that. Girl, boy, whoever you are, I feel you. Like, more than you'll ever know. Trust me. In order to get to a position where I've done this for 12 years, they have slung crap continuously. And the most ironic part is I wouldn't do anything to change that, because I thank God for them, you know. Thank God. I'd be nowhere. I wouldn't have any information. I'd be sat there trying to read that. They've helped me. Yes, it's not always a one-way street. It's a two-way street, okay? We have to also take that responsibility. And believe you me, some of the things I take responsibility for being a Taurus, both my parents are the stubbornest human beings on the planet Earth. And yes, I've taken on board some of those attributes. And yes, they have literally an onslaught at times, because they're like, will you learn now? And I'm like, no. So I get it. However, 5 of Swords. Look at your mental processing. What is the mental processing that's going on behind this here, that's causing this pattern? Is it a concern that, so my freaking relative just popped up next to me, they scared the life out of me. Is it a concern that this beginning would never happen, and so you've defaulted into rebel? Because I know I do, you know, let's be real. If we're evolved, we don't usually care, we're just doing our own thing sometimes. And we're just like, no, anarchy, you know. Is this self-sabotaging? Do you feel you are worthy of this new change? Okay, yes, it can be hard to accept a lesson. It can be very difficult to accept a lesson. It can be painful, because we see everything around us and we feel like we're losing everything. But is it justified? Yes, it's justified, because this is the energy that wants to be brought in, the Knight of Cups. Situations or topics that make you feel alive. It's it's that emotive energy that is that care. They're not doing it because they're thinking, well, let's just have a giggle upstairs, let's see how they're going to handle this. Trust me, the amount of times I've heard them laughing at me, and I'm just kind of like, great, this is absolutely cringe. Like, they're all sat there going, well, do you want to listen now? You know. And I get it. Sometimes you do want to fit into the crowd. You do want to be normal. You want to be one of the group of 5 billion, however many of us are on the planet. But sometimes when we're in a more individualistic path, and we're kind of that pioneering energy. Do you know what the worst thing is when I've gone through a lot of that, is when people are like, well, you signed your soul contract, what do you expect? And I'm like, thanks, that's awesome, really wanted to hear that right now. And the worst part about it is true, because I've, you know, and I can imagine me, you know, going, yeah, I'll do that, you know, idiot. But we're here, and we have to, You know, it's and you got to laugh about it because it kind of is funny, you know. My guides are like, you've driven us mad. So trust me, I relate to you. If you are falling in under the few that may watch this and think, yeah, that's me. You know, majority of you, you know, probably learn quicker than I do. So good for you. I'm pleased that you do. But just watch for that. How many of these freaking orbs are? Will you bugger off? Come on, out of here. They're like all trying to look in and see what's going on. Right, come on. We don't need energy vacuums. We need. Right, Spirit, Archangel Michael, please. Thank you. Right, so November. 5 of Swords. Release attachment to the outcome. Again, don't forget what you learnt around April. Release. Release the need to be right. Release the need to have a certain person around you. Release the need to be doing this at this time. Release. Trust me, I've as a Scorpio moon, transmuting my more lower vibrational element of a Scorpio moon, which is very controlling. It's been a freaking long process, and still they test me because they know, you know, and we've got to just do the best we can. But this is just a heads up. You're going to know specifically where maybe your weaknesses will be around the November time, but just watch for that, because this is a chance for a totally new start, that support, that abundance, that new beginning going into December. All right. And last but not least, December 2020. Those who picked pile 1, please, Spirit. 2020, please, guys. Pile 1, December 2020. Now again, if all you guys have a little wobble around November, or some of you guys have a little wobble around November, you guys have got it. December is a clarification that not only if you've learned around the November time, this is going to transition into December, this is also then going to be resolved from the November time into December, completing the year of abundance, okay? You guys are going to have, in terms of energetic reward, it doesn't have to be about just money. This is about balance of what you've put out, you are regaining. This is about, yes, material abundance, but a spiritual abundance as well, okay? We're going to pull out a few more oracle cards just to wrap this reading up for December and overall, and then we'll close out this reading, okay? So December 2020, for those who picked pile 1, please. December 2020, for all those who picked pile 1, what is the outcome for December 2020? Those who picked pile 1, please. What is it, Spirit? Will be showing those people. December, what's going to happen? Thank you. And you're generating new ideas moving into 2021. This is about utilising all the things that you've gained, okay, and then moving into that newer energy of building upon it, okay? So 44 being obviously a very, I mean, it's about kind of a good path. This is you've probably are reviewing everything that's happened, and you're just like, wow, look at how far I've come. Like, that's a lot of energy to transmute. So it's you, but breathing a breath of fresh air, coming out of the other end of that, going, wow, you know. And when you're starting at a 5 and you're transitioning all the way through up to, you know, 10 past 10 into the Queen is amazing, okay? And again, if you're not female, even if you're male watching this, still is the same energy. This is still the top level of that process of, you know, material and spiritual wealth that is going to be coming to you, which is amazing. And you deserve it. You deserve it. This was all written into your path. It all happened for a reason. Let's pull some more oracle cards, please. What else that hasn't previously been mentioned for 2020 for those who picked pile 1, please. What else can you tell us, please? What's the outcome for all this? Thank you so much. 2020, pile 1. You've managed to remove all those things that don't serve, okay? You were actually aware of a lot of them moving into the year, okay? We've got poison, chopped wood. All right, so a lot of the things that didn't serve have been removed in order for that clear path from the beginning part of 2020 leading up to the end of it, okay? And I don't think I need to pull any more cards after these two, but what is at the end and what's this evolving into past, you know, once we get past that kind of November energy, once we've transitioned, again, we've got the April time where May time, which is a beautiful energy of abundance for you guys, and even June. And then we've got a new lesson starting, okay, and then around sort of November time, October, November, even before that, still on and off, very good periods. But transitioning out the end of it, what do you gain? Serendipity and bless. So this is about divine timing. This was always meant to happen, and there is a blessing to be held from this. Guys, I'm hoping that's been of some help. I'm congratulating you for all the hard work you've been going to be doing for next year, and that all the kind of things that you're going to be beating and working through. Amazing energy. The blessings that are coming to you from the energy that I'm picking up is stunning. Really beautiful energy. Congratulations, you guys deserve it. Have a wonderful Christmas, okay? I wish you all the very happiest times with your loved ones, and many blessings to you between now and moving into 2020. Take good care. Thank you for all your likes, subscriptions and shares. Bye-bye.